Imagine, ish, I'm so tired. Let me just walk a little bit first. Imagine asking for permission like a little child for everything you need, like toilet paper, bread, food, Coca-Cola, bubble gum at the store. Mommy, please buy me chocolate. Like, I just can't deal. Like right now, I had to ask for permission to use these keys because I want to go to Leroy Merlin. You will recall I went there the other day to buy my lights to improve conditions, to give myself studio conditions. Hi, Crancat. What? To give myself studio conditions. And yeah, I'm sorry if I'm a little bit slow. I'm still very, very, very hurt. Well, I realized that I need, in order to really do my own plug and put it in, I need masking tape, the tape to make sure that my wires don't touch so they burst, crack up, whatever. That's the first thing I need. I don't have masking tape. Plus, because the light I bought is not a fitting that you put on the ceiling. Well, it's supposed to operate as a fitting, but I'm going to use it as a portable, like something that I can move around, put it wherever I want to put it, depending on where I'm sitting, in order to improve the lighting conditions of my videos. So because it's a portable that I carry around, I need to be able to, just like with a torch, switch it on and off, switch it on and off. The last light I connected, it was like a light fitting from Barbara's house that she brought down in the kitchen and replaced it with another one. She was doing like a refurbishment, like a renovation, and so that light, I took it and I rewired it to use a plug, but it would just switch on straight away whenever I plugged it in. That's what would happen. But you know how with plug-in points, with plug-in light fittings, ideally you need to be able to switch it on and off using like a button, a clicker that disrupts the flow of electricity to switch off, or pushes through the flow of electricity to switch it on. So basically, in order to make a light fitting myself that uses a plugging point as opposed to on, like attached to the electricity supply of the house, I have to buy the right kind of not masking tape, but the right kind of cord that has that switcher on it. The guy at the Leroy Merlin didn't think on his feet when I told him that I want to create my own light fitting. He should have thought on his feet. He should have given me the advice. It only dawned on me. Sorry, I'm cleaning my cameras. It only dawned on me. It's really very hot in here, so I'm gonna switch on the aircon. It only dawned on me that he didn't, like, he wasn't on the ball. He should have known to sell me rather one, because Leroy Merlin is like a Builder's Warehouse type tanamount. It's a competitor to Builder's Warehouse, so they have stuff like that for DIY electricity work and da. So I have in my bag, I'm going to show you basically the receipt and everything of the last purchase, and I've got these two things, and I'm taking them back to replace them with that one cord that has a switch thing, so that when I plug the light in, it doesn't automatically go on, but it only goes on when I, the way that it works with a side lamp. That's what I've been wanting to do, and I made those purchases, or that purchase, like 2 days ago. And believe you me if I tell you, I haven't been able to go to the Leroy Merlin because to do just this one exchange, like just this one return, I couldn't do it on the time being that I wanted to do it, and so therefore get straight to work with the electrical whatever it is that I needed to do on my light fitting, because I had to wait for basically the dust to settle. Like every time I use the car, I have to wait for dust to settle, like dust did at some point rise up to the sky. I have to wait a couple of days. I have to wait 2-3 days before I can ask again to use the car. I can't just go back tomorrow, the next day or whatever, because I needed to what do you call this thing, because that's what I needed to do. I can't just go back the next day because I bought the wrong purchase. I have to wait for like some days to progress, and depending again on the mood of the individual in question, I might not even get very far, or I might get asked questions. I mean, when was the last time, those of you who are all grown up now, you're not in your mother's houses, when was the last time you got asked where you were going when you asked that you're going somewhere? Like when you pick up your keys from the kitchen counter and you drive out, when was the last time you got asked where you're going? And I'm not speaking to like married couples right now. where it is that your husband might be like, babe, where you going? Please, like, bring me back, I don't know, like a Coca-Cola. I'm speaking about like a very controlling or a concerned, a very motherly or a fatherly, reasonable question when a teenage kid is getting out of the house shortly before curfew. It was literally when you were still a child that every single time you would like want to get out of the house, your mom would be like, hey, where you going? Where you going? Where you going? For the life of me, like, guys, I've got so much condescension around my life. I am so closed in on all sides. I feel so trapped. Like, it's literally, I can't even, I don't want to cry. Earlier, I said last time you saw me, I was crying. And then today, I'm not going to do it because it's just a waste of my freaking time to cry. The fact that I am being denied my adulthood, I'm not gonna cry. What the hell for? Like, the fact that I'm being denied my adulthood, like all of my adulthood, like I graduated past the age of 18 by simply turning 19 or even 18 itself, and my whole freaking country refuses to respect that I am a grown woman and I have not even been invalidated medically, like reduced to the status of a child because of a medical condition that I have. It is feasible to treat a person like their child if they do indeed have some kind of a medical condition that makes it such that it would be irresponsible to leave them in an adult state, like people with mental incapacity of that nature. I don't have that. I've never been diagnosed in that regard. I've never had to do anything medically or been charged by a court of law as one that needs a guardian for the rest of her life, even though that's literally what people try to do with me. Like these witches, they tried to make me a medical invalid despite being an adult that the court declares unfit to take care of oneself, and so people get to make decisions on my behalf. People try to do that, like as sober as I am. People try to do that to me. They literally try to motion a process of that nature. Can abuse get more prolific? Can it? I have not had anything of that nature happen. The Lord protected me from that going down. And yet South Africa, despite the fact that they have not been able to successfully incapacitate me medically on documentation to justify people's treatment of me in that way, they nonetheless are disregarding their own law, their own legislation, their own human rights for their citizens on the ground, and are saying, person, we do not care that we could not legally do this to you, but we're going to be a bunch of anarchs. A bunch of anarchs, like a bunch of fools participating in the purge, in the annual purge where crime is legal for 8 years in your particular life. We are going to do whatever the hell we want with your life and treat you like you're an invalid since we could not legally do so. But we're going to do it in your life. And the whole nation is literally going to be in one accord. The whole nation is going to come together and say, we agree that God was crazy, even though we would fail abysmally, at least in terms of any reasonable and sober doctor that does not want to have their medical license revoked or whatever could ever declare me as. Like, there's nobody that could successfully put me in some funny, strange place of that nature. And I'm quite smart. Like, I fought some stupid doctor that wanted to take the narrative of my mother on board, and he left huffing and puffing. Basically, he was 5 seconds away from saying "mwah," even though it was a white man. The way that he was so pissed off with me refusing to let him incapacitate me with a diagnosis that is not of my person. I literally spit the law of this country, and he stormed off on me like I was some irresponsible derelict child that did not want to take medicine, or I need to leave the car on because it gets too hot. He treated me like I was some derelict kid that literally is too much of a smarty pants, that knows way more than they're supposed to know, and because of how smart this kid is, he or she gets away with a whole bunch of murder, but they're irresponsible and the mother knows best. Like, I basically quoted my rights to this doctor, that first of all, I have a right to refuse treatment, and I have not been legally incapacitated by a court of law such that my mother can get to make a decision on my behalf as to what happens to me medically when I get to a hospital. So you're not going to book me into freaking psychiatric help when I don't need psychiatric help. I am being coerced, and I'm telling you that as a doctor, and you're 5 seconds away from like participating in medical malpractice. I flat out told that to this white doctor, and he stormed off, got so upset with me, pissed off, that I quoted the law almost as if though I was some know-it-all kid that is literally too smart for their own liking. And so even though their mama knows what's best for them and what needs to be done, because I know how to find loopholes in the system, and I keep saying as a child that is like a complete derelict that I know my rights, the adult in question that knows that I'm actually rather quite the derelict, but I am in denial, cannot force things on me because I am actually right, but I don't know what's best for me. So he stormed off. He was 5 seconds away of even flipping his freaking wig if he was wearing one. That's what happened. And this was when I was 33 years old. I'm 37 now. A 33-year-old woman. I also highlighted the fact that I'm 33. And this man, for the life of him, still disregarded me and looked at my mother like, I'm sorry, ma'am, there's nothing I can do for you. I get that you have a problem with your daughter, but I mean, she's right. I can't force her to get checked into the hospital. So all the best with that. Like, I really hope you come right. A 33-year-old woman. When I say that this country has a principality on it, that everybody is made crazy by some satanic worship of witches, that South Africans are lukewarm and so they can't successfully pray witchcraft off, understand that that is true. How does a medical doctor, a smart man of that nature, literally disregard the statement and the quotes of a 33-year-old patient brought into a space by a mother that has forced her to be there, and runs with this forceful person's narrative rather than the patient with whom, by the way, he has got doctor-patient confidentiality. So essentially, he should not even be giving any feedback to Barbara. Like, that is what I've been dealing with. Like, this country has gone on right ahead to disregard its own law. Doctors have gone on right ahead to disregard their own Hippocratic oath where I'm concerned. It's been so freaking bizarre. And the only thing that rescued me was my freaking intelligence. Like, I'm too damn smart. And that is the thing that irritates them. They look at me like I am too smart for my own liking. Like a junkie drug addict that has got like a genius IQ, and so he prospers to get out of rehab. That is how South Africa has treated me. Even though there has been nothing of me that suggests that I am irresponsible. That is how much everybody here is in a freaking trance, like I can't deal. This nation has flat out refused to let me be an adult. Refused. Like, refused. Anyone at all that could have been sober where I'm concerned, looking out even for their own careers, has chosen not to. I have got all of this in freaking documentation. Like, I keep on using this word freaking because it's 5 minutes away from being the F word, the way I've got profanity so much on my tongue, the way I am angry at what's happening, and I don't know what's going to happen, how I'm going to break past this, how am I going to get out of this, because I feel like the only way for me to be rescued from this painful execution of my person, despite me being a whole thriving adult, is to leave the country. But I'm stranded. I'm stranded. Like, I have had doctors who stood to lose their medical licenses because of the indiscretions of what they did to me carry on in a way that they did without any sobriety, literally snapping them into shape, snapping them out of whatever crappy trance they might be in. And here it is, I find myself in this position 8 entire years down the line, and I am still abused, still persecuted, and still treated like a child with some freaking irresponsible female who is killing her own child, asking me, where are you going? What the hell? It's not your business. But that's just the thing. I don't have my own car where I can literally just get out of here whether or not you want me going anywhere. She is freaking controlling, and she wants to know my every move. And I don't have a car, but because I don't want to walk to the Leroy Merlin, given that it's like, what, 2 or 3 kilometers away from where I stay, I've got to make nice with the person that went and threw my laundry out this morning, outside, in a refuse bag, to be just abandoned until I decide to do what I want to do with it. I've got to go to that person and ask her for toilet paper to wipe my butt when I'm done, following which I then have to also ask her for the car keys so I can finally go to Leroy Merlin and do the exchange for the purchase I made a couple of days ago. This is my life. Like, I want my car back. Not only do I want my car back, I also want my life back. I want these filthy South Africans to know what the hell it means to mess with a child of God. I want them to understand that you don't get to just disregard your own law. You don't just get to make like the movie The Purge and make crime legal for a season in a person's life. You literally go to town. I lost a job and the country lost its freaking mind. I lost employment. I lost an ability to make money, and the damn country lost its mind. It ignored its own law. And the only reason why people eventually let me go after a season of trying to incarcerate me is because I'm too freaking smart for them to keep holding me hostage. But they let me go with hostility and bitterness and attitude and treat me like the scum of the earth. They know they can't get away with it. And so that little sobriety that dwells inside them to say I can't lose my career over this crappy case makes them let me go. Otherwise, if it was up to them, they would take this to the very freaking end. That damn doctor, if he could get away with what he did to me, would have literally bound me in a stray suit, despite all of my faculties being intact, and told my mother, don't worry, I'm gonna take your daughter to Sterkfontein just because you freaking said so. Without me being hysterical, without me displaying any signs of harm towards myself or other people, with all of my faculties intact, my sobriety stark, I would have been put in a stray suit. Only thing that kicked in to make these men and women not go all the way out and wreaking havoc in their own futures was a little tiny light bulb moment that I believe is switched on in their heads by God to say, you know this is wrong. And so with a whole bunch of attitude, they're just like, whatever, go then. You're going to see how your future's going to go. You're going to see you're going to lose everything. Your mother only cares for you. Do you not see there is something freaking ominous and nefarious about this filthy woman bringing a 33-year-old child, like a daughter, to a hospital and telling doctors to put that daughter in Sterkfontein Hospital? Like, who in their right mind is not going to go and look twice and deeply into something of that nature? It's just a lot of abuse, and people have allowed this to happen to me, evidencing that South Africa is generally under some kind of creepy curse. And everybody here is so dead. Everybody here is so ungodly. Everybody here is so reprobate. Everybody else here loves Satan so much that they can't even wake up on time to not hurt an innocent woman who is obviously, clearly, very validly so at that present moment the right person. Like, it is literally anyone else at all that were to look into my situation with a neutral eye would know from the onset, get-go, who is innocent. And yet they choose to disrespect me. I've told you that example earlier on about the police officers who knew straight away that my dad was crazy because he was drunk, like his breath was just like evaporating alcohol. And that is what rescued me. I often wonder if my father was sober that day, if the police might have just like ran with his like freaking lie and decided to like punish me or like wave their finger. They couldn't arrest me for what, I don't know. But they literally allowed themselves to be dragged out of a police station by a drunk man to come and speak sense into me. Like, that's what I've been experiencing for years. And now today I had to go and ask the very person who put my laundry outside for, I guess, the rabbits to eat, for the rodents to eat, for the lizards to crawl through. That woman, I gotta go and be like, can I please have toilet paper? I gotta go and be like, can I, like, seriously speaking, I have to, like, every time I go into the bathroom and I realize there's no toilet paper, I am expected to ask for it. Like, this woman bought a toilet paper holder. You know those things that you can just grab toilet paper out of when you run out in the bathroom? Like, they are there for decor, both aesthetic reasons as well as being functional alongside ornamental. Yeah, we got that, but it's empty because she's in the business of freaking hiding everything from me. I can't get anything I need. During the week, I had to ask her for soap to wash my clothes. She just gets a kick out of that. Imagine that, like my freaking ex-boyfriend, who I was very independent, he was the daggone loser in the relationship. I was the one carrying his daggone butt all over the show. He was heavy, didn't have a freaking driver's license when I met him. I taught him how to drive. And that little fool put me in a position to be like him when I met him. A freaking 26-year-old man that doesn't know how to freaking drive. And I taught him. That's how our relationship started. I was 4 entire years younger than him. I was only 22 years old when I met him, and I taught that nigga how to drive. And that same fool has reduced me to the irresponsible derelict that he was, that at 26 years old, he did not know what a clutch is, what a brake is, and how to operate a vehicle that is manual. I had to get him to freaking know how to drive. And now today I am being treated as irresponsible, like I'm as irresponsible as he was when I met him, because a little nigga knows how to use witchcraft. I am in this position because of filthy fools of that nature. People that ain't got jack on me. I have a cousin who was so daggone irresponsible that she had to quit 2 or 3 of her jobs because she was scared she was going to get fired, because she was always not rocking up at work on Mondays because she was always babalazed. That freaky fool. That fool of a cousin is now today looking more responsible than me. When I was the one that took myself to university, burnt the midnight oil, despite the fact that I had a 9 to 5, a career, I still took myself to school. I paid for my education. I did everything for myself. So let alone not rocking up on Monday at work all drunk. I took myself to school. I am that responsible. And that cousin has been made to look like a freaking stellar citizen, a good mom, a good, like, random citizen of this country. That is what South Africa is doing to its best citizens. Replacing them with miscreants who can't freaking drive despite being men at the age of 26. And replacing them with miscreants who don't rock up at work on Monday because they're too damn drunk. They replace people like those, where they take me and replace me with people like those. All the best. Keep your drunks that come to work on Monday babalast. And keep your freaking 26-year-old males that don't know how to freaking move a clutch in a car. Keep them. But as for me, I'm leaving South Africa. Watch the space. Let me go inside Leroy Merlin. I am done. Hi, no, I need help. The Kerekile last time, didn't put tenancy too, but I was wondering if I could, you know, when, like a side lamp, you know how it has a switch?
The switch.
Yeah, I bought this for the sake of taking a normal fitting, but making it a side lamp. Yeah, so do you have a cord and a switch?
No, I don't think one on the other. But the only thing that I check is the switch separate.
So how does it work? Do you mind showing me?
Quickly check what that is.
Yeah, this is the guy that helped me. Hi, how are you? I'm good, thanks. I don't know if you remember me. I was here 2 days ago, and I bought this and this. I thought about it later on. You know, the side lamps usually have like a switch. Is it possible? Do you guys sell something like that?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
You wanna connect it to that?
Huh?
You wanna connect it?
No. Well, I mean, if it's possible, because I was thinking of taking this back and seeing if I can buy one with the switch. Do you remember I bought a light fitting and I want to make it like a side lamp instead?
Switches. You want these switches?
Yeah, setup of that nature. So how does it work? Do you guys sell that with the cord already?
Full thing, yeah.
Yes, something like that. I think. Wait, let me think. Do you remember what I bought?
Okay, you need this, except for this.
So do you guys have it here?
No. So I can give you this.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have to connect this.
So how does it work? Like, what does it look like on the inside? I don't know. How would I connect it? That's the thing. How does it?
So this
like,
is
this is what I have. So how do I take that and make it work with this?
Yeah, so with this one here, it's not gonna work with the earth. So the earth cable, you have to bypass it.
I have to buy it?
Bypass. So you're not gonna connect it with
What do you
this
mean?
one here. It doesn't take. It's an inline switch.
So how then am I going to be
It's like-
okay?
It's not gonna work with this one if you want to connect it.
Okay.
So remember you
So
bought-
what? Okay, my question is, what would be the best advice? Hey, what can I do to connect that setup that I bought the other day to a switch? Do I buy that and just remove this, or what?
But still
or
with
do
this
I-
one as well, you see this is a 2-core cable.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have earth. So
Okay.
this one you're not gonna have to connect it. You just connect the live and the neutral. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I'll still be able to.
Yeah, you still, because the most important thing is live, which is the power.
And that one as well does the same thing.
It does the same thing. But with this one you'll have to connect it yourself like that.
Like I won't have to.
So if you buy this one, you're just gonna cut this one off. This off, and then you connect it straight to
To the setup.
Yes. So this is what you bought.
Is what?
What you bought. You see what you bought?
Yes.
You connect it exactly the same way. This one is connected. Just live and neutral. I remember it has a connector
Yeah.
block that
Yeah.
shows live, neutral, and earth. So if you don't connect the earth, it's just live and neutral.
Okay. Is this a different? Okay, so wait again. I'm confused. So your advice? What's your advice?
My advice is,
Strongest advice between this and this.
okay, and I'll tell you why. My strongest advice would be this one here, because this is going to be easier for you.
Okay.
With this one, you'll have to connect it. And now, if you open it, like I said, it's an inline switch. If you connect this one, you won't know where to connect the live and where to connect the neutral. So it's an inline switch. It's not the one where you just connect. So it's an inline switch. What you put this side has to come out this side.
Okay. I hear you.
Yeah.
And I would not know how to do that.
Yeah. So with this one, it's actually going to be easier.
My question is, why do you say I would not be able to know how to do that? What would be so difficult?
The live and the neutral. Because remember, this is a 2-core cable, and this uses 1.
Oh.
Yes.
So
this
you're gonna
is
tell me
just-
there aren't?
It's not going to be 2 cables inside here.
It's just one.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know
okay.
those
All right.
circuits,
No,
the
you
school
make
circuits?
sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's going to be confusing, and once you do it wrong, it's going to blow
The situation.
yeah.
Is there a black one? This.
No.
It's just white. So
No,
then
the black one.
I wanted a black one so it can match with the light fitting.
Okay, I suppose you can take it and then
It doesn't have to and then finish your sentence.
I'll show you how to do it. I'll tell you how to do it, but you're not going to use that.
The intention is to bring this back and replace it with something else. Would I have to bring that other one
What?
here?
What?
The one that I bought?
The fitting?
Yeah.
No. No, the off-cuts, they don't take the off-cuts back. Probably that.
This they'll take back.
Yeah.
So they're not going to take this.
No.
Whatever. Like, okay, fine. Then I'll keep them. So
With this one, let me check if I have the black cable. How long do you want it to be?
how long do I want it to be? As long as this one.
How many
I think
meters
you
is
gave
that?
me a
1
meter.
meter.
Yeah.
And I have it in 10 meter roll.
They only have it in 10 meters. Is that the cable that you were talking about there?
Yeah. The cable that you need.
I see what you mean. It even looks thinner. Look, if it's going to be that intense, then I mean, I'm not going to buy something for 167. It doesn't make sense financially. Okay, then look, if it doesn't come in black, it's not a train smash. It just would have been nicer that way. That is fine. Okay, I hear you. So I'll take that one then.
This one, yeah.
Yeah. So this has the live and the whatnot.
Yes. So everything is already connected. The only thing you connect is going to be this, the end part here, to the light fitting.
Okay.
So remember,
And
it's just going to be live and neutral. Earth, you can just leave it like that.
and
So normally earth it's for metal so that it doesn't shock. But
I
I
hear you.
don't think you're going to be
so
touching
it's like
metal.
this basically.
Yeah, exactly like this. Live and neutral.
Okay. What do I want to ask? Do you guys have masking tape or something to make sure that I can? Because I'm gonna need something like that.
For
Yeah, I think I'm gonna cut this. Remember, I'm gonna have to cut it here
yeah.
and then attach it to the other light switch. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have.
So let me show you.
Yeah.
You're not gonna need that. Because remember inside it comes with this thing like this here.
1 point.
Remember.
Yeah.
So it's in and out. So inside it's already connected on this side. The only thing you're gonna connect is your live and your neutral. The earth in the middle, you just leave it like that. So earth is normally
So I will need to like put a wire.
So you're just gonna unscrew this.
Mm.
So you basically need a screwdriver. I don't know if it's a flat or a star, but I think it's a flat. You're just gonna unscrew this, put the wire in there, then you just fasten it.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. I hope it works out. Okay. Cool. Thank you. Hey.
Alright, sure. Okay.
This is all I need.
Oh, hello. How are you? Are you ready? It's mild orange.
So you want me to stay? But I should go. Or leave me astray when I'm alone. 'Cause you got me ill.
You have to wait and you test next month.
Jamila?
Hi.
Hi, I'm looking for help. I want to find out for when I was light fitting in with the that I bought. I want to find out what the clothes. I think it's a thing.
Okay, certainly.
Yeah, but which one? Can you show me more now? Okay.
You can use these ones if you want the frosted, the clear ones, the small pin. But let me see which one.
Oh yeah. This. I bought this.
Yeah.
Those ones. Okay, so the wattage where it says mole.
Now it's up to you with how bright you want it to be.
Okay, thanks.
Circles. And I just don't know what to do.
Hi, I bought, you heard me talking with that guy. I bought a Switch. He said that I wouldn't be able to take back the other stuff, so whatever, it cost me like $20 anyway for the combined purchase, so I'm not gonna feel it. And now I'm going to Discam to buy face wash. I'm out of the not benzoyl peroxide, sorry, but the Garnier face wash. Like, you know, it's South Africa, whatever, okay? The Garnier face wash with, you'll see it, like, the clay, the mask that I use, the combination. The person that I am, like, just the general benefit that I stand to bless this country, this, like, strange, freaking rebellious, ominous, like, satanic country with, is the fact that I am stellar. Do you understand? I am a gem. How can I put this? If it was not for the fact that I am such an academic, okay? If it was not for the fact that I have a particular preference, or I had, let's just use past participles to be like genuine about the fact that we're over whatever the heck you do to people in this filthy country. The fact that I'm an academic and I had a particular desire for my future once upon a freaking time. All of y'all who are into randomly shattering people's dreams, like, listen, fools. Because I am an academic, I chose life in freaking corporate, okay? I chose to go and study and be a suit, be a bookworm, be a graduate. There are plenty model lookalike women here in these streets that have been scouted by myriads upon myriads upon myriads of modeling agencies, but who choose not to model because they just are not interested in being in the public eye. There was actually this tall, lanky, skinny, she looked like Naturian avatar at MTN, and she just towered over everybody so much, and she looked like she belonged somewhere on a ramp, but she was working a regular 9 to 5. And upon asking her one time when I was in the lift with her, hey, how are you? You look really great. You look like you could have been a model. Did you in your past life ever model? I asked her if she ever modeled in her past life, like before she went to corporate or whatever, and when she realized that she got older, that modeling was not gonna, like, you know, be sustainable for her, because not everybody gets to become a supermodel that can linger in that career well into their, like, older years, right? Not everybody's a Cindy Crawford or a Naomi Campbell. I asked her, I was like, whoa, like, I bet you get told this a lot. You look like a model. Did you in your past life ever model? And her answer was like, no, never, but I have been scouted quite a lot. I've just never wanted to do it. And I was like, okay, I get it, I understand. And I I do understand, because just like her, even though I was not as tall as her, but I do have a tall, like I'm tall and I'm skinny. I've also been scouted by modeling agencies, but the reason why I rejected the call, if you want to call it that, was because I was just not interested in being in the public eye. I was not interested in being a model. I wasn't interested in being a television face, a magazine face. I just wanted to study, get a degree, get a career, and that's what I was going to do. I wanted to walk the aisles of corporate. I wanted to paradigm shift, thought lead, innovate within the business arena. So it did not matter that I was born looking like I could totally kill it as a celebrity. So what I'm trying to help you understand, South Africa, is that I not only have got the outward appearance of a person that would have killed it in the entertainment industry, I also just generally come packaged with the talents that people in the entertainment industry generally need to have. I am a buxom, like gifted rando in that regard. I can and could have entirely been a celebrity, but I chose not to because it's just not what I wanted in life. I wanted to study because I'm a bookworm. I took after my family. I took after my dad. It's just who I am. So I was ever going to grow old without never having done that. And no, I wouldn't have regretted it. I wouldn't have imagined I wasted my youthful beauty. Nothing. I would have just been like, yo, it's always been my dream to be some like diva in an office. So I'm trying to help you understand that you're messing with a person that could have been literally whatever she wanted to be in life. Imagine if I was like a 5-year-old child being asked at creche, what do you want to be when you grow up? And this kid, because they don't know what they want to be, they're like, well, just given that I'm generally very pretty, just given that I'm also very well-spoken and I'm smart, and just given also that I've got like a buxom bunch of talent, I could be a doctor, I could be a miner, I could be a model, I could be an actor and actress, I could be an actress, I could also be a maker of clothes because I love fashion, I could also be an influencer because like who doesn't want to listen to my cute voice? Like if I was a diva child like that, I could have totally given a teacher at creche an answer along the side of the lines of, look, I'm still a child, you're way in over your head and asking me what I want to be when I grow up. However, these are generally my options, teacher. I could be whatever under heaven and the world I want to be and do really great at it. If I was that kind of arrogant, pompous little girl that knows what she's about. But I'm not that little pompous, arrogant little girl. I am this big grown woman that knows what she could have done but didn't because she chose a particular path and you stopped me dead in it. So, granted that as a little girl I could have totally responded and said I could be a model, an actress, an influencer, an accountant, an astronaut, a like rocket scientist, a doctor. I could have been whatever I wanted to be. Now that you have kicked me the hell out of corporate where I was going to be nice and comfortable, I properly wrote that song, that Rihanna Needed Me song. I was good left alone just the way it was, but you wanted me low with a faded past, fasted me from love, split from the fool you were working for, left you jaded but you still kicked it, you can still kick me, still cover something, left me running through a maze made to run but lazy, he got you twisted, you were just another sinner with a devil on the hit list, trying to find your inner purpose in the dead mix. What Satan didn't tell you is that he can ravage those with white horse in the carriage. They don't cry superior lesson. Never thought you came planet you free me. I rewrote those lyrics precisely speaking about how you stupid idiots, you random bunch of gawking ravenous fools, I was good left alone in corporate, pushing paper, away from social media, wanting a tranquil little life with 2.5 kids with some dude out here in these streets that would have been my husband. Instead, you saw it fit to make me the freaking model I didn't want to become, the actress I didn't want to become, the astronaut, and the daggone rocket scientist. You saw it fit to take me the hell out of the jobs that I chose, out of the myriad of gifts that I could have walked in. And now you are dealing with a daggone celebrity in the making, and I'm gonna get there, South Africa. You need to understand that I was good left alone just the way it was. But instead you messed up with my damn future. And now I'm going to embarrass you, humiliate you as a country, because you took the biggest and baddest chick in the game who would have stayed below the radar, a bleep on some people's radar at most, but not seen by the whole world, and shown her to a public society that is going to know just how wicked you are as a country. You dared step on the toes of a little bit of a Cindy Crawford that decided to be in corporate. And the next thing, she's the Bill and end all of a Chiquita that everybody anticipates needs to out here in these streets, grace us with a big fat chunky mole and kill it. Like, that's what you need to understand. You put me in a position to try things out that I never would have tried out. You try to silence me, to smother me. You try to make sure that I don't get anywhere in life. And in so doing that, you got me into places I was historically disinterested in being in. I'm about to go into Discount right now and buy a face wash from Garnier, okay? Because it's been working for me. The level of influence that I will ultimately get, despite with your whack agenda, because you don't freaking know how to act, you don't know how to keep yourself in a little neat bunch, you don't know how to appreciate what God done given you, and so as a result, you just take it in your stride and walk on and allow other people in society that are supposed to do a thing here on earth, because that's what God put them here to do that thing. You're into thwarting people's destinies and futures. You are into rewriting people's freaking histories like you're God. Who in the world do you think you are? And then you say, Karabo, no, you chose not to be a model. You chose chose not to be an actress or a singer. You chose not to do all those things. Well, whoops, you should have chosen it, girl. Because now I'm gonna take away your 9-to-5 butt-warming chair there in corporate and say you're never gonna work there again. You're going to take away my degree from this university and say you're never going to go and claim yourself as an academic. You're going to take away my status as a freaking impending PhD and say, don't nobody going to know that you wanted to study up to that level like that's proper what you freaking filthy, random, megalomaniacal South Africans did to me. And now you went and took that 5-year-old girl and tapped into all the other things she could have done, and now that's all she can do. Now I gotta be an influencer. Now I gotta freaking sing. Now I've got to be an actress. Now I've got to be a thespian on the rooftop screaming on top of my lungs just to get heard and make people understand that South Africa is a gangster country and they dare think they can go and hide Cindy Crawford in the 90s, like Claudia Schiffer, or even like give me a like recent model Gigi Hadid. And imagine that because you're gonna go and grab Gigi Hadid and put her under a table and tell her, sorry, you're not gonna get to be an accountant anymore, that she's just gonna get ignored. No. You're kidding, aren't you, in these streets? I am that girl. The kind of woman that would get asked in an elevator, hey, did you model in your past life? And I'd be like, no, I chose to go and be a typist. But instead you were like, you're not going to type anything anymore. What you're going to do is just like lie in obscurity, go and marry some random dude that's going to give you like 10.5 kids, lose your body, and just like forget about buying furniture ever again at Rochester, at Corey Croft, at Weatherleys. And you are not going to be buying your daggone furniture with the like furniture business uncle Joshua Dore or Ellerines or I don't know, Morkels. Like you sick, like that. You took away my lifestyle. Because you imagine that that's all I had going for myself. Or the Lord is about to bust a cap in your knee, blast a furnace, ransack your demons, and making you understand. You went and grabbed a Naomi Campbell that wanted to do a 9-to-5 and said, Zach, how about you sit here in these streets and do nothing? And she was like, I'm sorry, I've got like legs the length of the Eiffel Dam Tower. What I'm going to do is go make money elsewhere. And since you put me in the entertainment industry, my earning potential is going to exceed yours. I'm pretty, I'm beautiful, I'm influential, I'm well-spoken, I'm smart. So therefore, Garnier stands to sell a little bit more face wash because I'm going to go and buy their face wash. That's who I am. But don't nobody be looking at me right now. And so you're underestimating me for tech. You're going to know what time it is. You're going to properly know what time it is. I was good left alone. That's the way it was. But you went on me low with a faded past. Split from the fool you were working for. Left me running through a maze made to run but lazy. You got it twisted. You was just another sinner on the hit list. Trying to find your inner purpose in a dead mix. What your little devil didn't tell you is that he can't ravage those with one horse and a carriage. Bet on Christ, too pure to listen. Bet you never knew that was true. You freed me, South Africa. You made sure that I am that girl that can do anything she wants, and she actually got to do everything she wanted to. I've got celebrity potential. You are stupid. You are dumb. And your filth is not going to get you ransacked by a woman that's going to drag you through the mud from a public eye, and she's going to be so daggone famous and so daggone popular that you're not going to know what time it is, what your middle name is, and everybody's going to hate you because look what you did to the really great girl. Watch the space. I actually forgot one thing that I actually had to get. You know, this whole toilet paper thing. I have to go back inside the disc cam. I don't know what time it is. I'll go in now. I wanted to show you. I don't know if I'm going to go to disc cam or spa just for a change of scenery, but disc cam probably has more variety. You know this thing? This is the face wash I was talking about by Garnier. I mixed this with benzoyl peroxide and it appears to be clearing my skin. I don't know. I also bought some bubblegum, Orbit Professional White, African Pride Growth Oil, and African Pride Hair Cream. I was actually looking for the spray. I need to buy a box of tissues. Toilet paper has been hidden from me because every so often I take a roll of toilet paper into the room there just in case my nose runs and I blow it. When I was working at MTN, I used to always put a box of tissues in my drawer or on my desk because, you know, like really, you don't want to be sniffing at your desk during winter or just when you've laughed too much and so now your nose is running. Or for whatever reason, you need to like use tissue. It could even be just to wipe your environment type thing. I therefore have always just walked around with not only a box of tissues, not only had a box of tissues at my desk, but in my active bag, my actual bag always had like, you know, those pocket tissues, just so I'm not this gross little thing sniffing around because my nose has had a tendency throughout my life to just get all like, you know, runny. Like I think I took it from my dad because he also was like into like, now he was always carrying a handkerchief, like, you know how gross those things can get. Yeah. Well, that's why I have tissue. Sometimes I would take like 2 rolls just so I don't keep going back into the house, and now they've been hidden from me. It is the one purchase I've been wanting to make, but I've been forgetting to make it because I've been using toilet roll, but now I don't even have that. So I'm gonna go back inside the discount to get toilet roll. Like, if you think I am the B word, if I'm, you know, like a female dog, I don't care what you think. You literally took away toilet paper or tissue from my nose and expect me to have like these dried up, cracked up snots underneath my nose because now I'm poverty stricken. Are you serious? Like, give me all disheveled and scruffy so you can get to say I am better than Karaba, I have a better career, and over and above it my nose is cleaner? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? That is what South Africa did from me. Did to me. That's what they took from me. Toilet paper, pocket tissues from my bag, toilet tissue, like, you know, facial tissues from my desk side, and my general freaking piece to blow my nose whenever it goes runny. And you think that that stuff is acceptable sufficiently enough for people to let you get away with it? I'm sorry. I need my justice in court, and I need to be restored. Damages running well into the millions of rands because of what you did to my future, loss of income alongside restoration of my freaking facial tissues. You're not gonna get away with this, South Africa. I'm just saying. Gotta go back inside the discam.
Going back to the way we knew, but never really knew that you knew how. I'm sure that you felt before, and it never really had to doubt. I hold place in your heart, you so old, special place in my heart.
Like, Lapora, it's that basic. Like, who in the world, like, blows their nose, got toilet paper? Like, that stuff is freaking scratchy. It's hard knock, and you've been making me do that for 8 years straight. I'm coming for you, South Africa. I am. Lang zisitse ka batho. Got me called a reject. Are you saying me, really, me? I get it. Legislatively, like paraffin, and it got pizza things paraffin la mat. You just ran. You literally just ran on fuel from maybe even methylated spirits, la dawa. Like methylated spirits, those purple ones, like all up and down your like lip area purple. The way you are so desirous of getting drunk, like you love your witchcraft. You got high on nyaupe with methylated spirit mixed with manala or something. To dare imagine, you could literally subjugate an innocent woman to scratching her nose with 1 or 2 or 3 ply toilet paper, might as well be in newspaper, when all this is sensitive. Because you decided that I need to have a lesser career than you. Because you decided that I need to marry a lesser man than whatever little random husbands out in these streets you chose. You proper made a decision that I need to go and scratch my daggone nose with like 3 ply toilet paper as opposed to facial tissues. That's why they call them facial tissues. You decided that I need to be extracted from my wallet money to purchase pocket tissues and facial tissues to blow my nose so my skin does not freaking peel off after a rainy season of winter. After sniffling around for a minute, you decided to do that because you wanted me to end up with a bad husband. You wanted me to do badly in my career. You wanted me to do lesser than you in things in life, and for those reasons you took away my freaking like facial tissue. You took away my job, you took away my family, you took away my livelihood, you literally took away everything, and you think you cankerworm you think you locust and you palmer worm you, that my God is not going to restore to me everything that you with your sticky fingers, you freaking kleptomaniac, stole? You imagine that when you acted like your damn daddy the devil and stole, killed, and destroyed, that God is going to be like, oh snap, like who'd have thunk it that the world would be so mean? Who'd have thunk it that they would be so awkward? Who'd have thunk it that they would be so gangster to a point where my disciples can't breathe? Literally, witches, it's how you think, it's how you operate. You think there is no God, you're nihilistic, and so you do whatever you want, dilly-dally up here in these streets, mocking everybody because you anticipate that God is not going to bring recompense and retaliation against your witchcraft. You think you have identified this like random magic wand that's going to give you everything you want, and the perfect tool to compete with friends, the perfect tool to compete with ex-boyfriends, so that he gets to be the dude that marries well after being the obvious loser in the relationship, and I was not supposed to be with him. Like after you lose a ride or die chick that teaches a dude with 2 left feet and that's why he can't drive at the age of 26. You properly imagine that after you leave, or that woman leaves you, that you get to go on and marry whatever under heaven it is that you married, okay? And then come out on the other side looking like the better dude when she's obviously the one that made you a man that other women desire like proper. You get to rock around, like roam around in these streets, making the girl that prospered in her career first before all of y'all daggone rando females, the woman that slayed you in her career despite yet to graduate. You get to go and fetch your hookah chaka, waza whatever random rubbish you done fetched, okay? And make her the least prosperous among you. Make her the loser. Oh my, like what, really? Me, a loser, like yeah, that, okay? You get to put a big fat loser sticker on my back saying kick me, because that's what the world has been doing to me. Because you found a magic wand, you find yourself standing next to a cauldron chanting over it, blowing steam and spitting into it just to get Karabo's nose to be scratched by like 3-ply toilet paper. And after you do that, you think that God is going to be like, but why are you so mean to my church? You probably think that God is looking at this earth on some, no, please don't do that. No. Every time a Christian falls, I'm sorry. Romans 8:28 says all things work out together for the good of them who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose, and that the Lord has set apart everything for his purposes, including the wicked, for the day of trouble, meaning that everything you do, including inhaling random mucus into your cauldron pots when you bewitch your friends, the brooms you fly on every night, the nakedness you get busted in while you're busy ululating and chanting random incantations on top of Karabo's roof, all that has been predestinated by a holy and sovereign God for you to do it so you can fall splat like a thud, typically like an African witch getting busted by the villagers, slap bang in the middle of an antic, ululating on some at a cemetery. The Lord God Almighty gets you guys busted, you modern witches walking around in corporate South Africa, probably not even looking like witches. He makes you get busted like the kinds of witches that get busted in Komagayeng. Naked, cheeky. Go mabitleng. Aloya. I'm the besides a ritual over. A dude that got buried today, and so re-exoking it away. What do you call this thing? Exhuma. For the sake of their rituals. That's how God embarrasses you. You were supposed to be a witch. You were supposed to be random. You were supposed to do silly things that I might get my day in court. That I might rise above all of those ashes. That I might be indeed like the phoenix. That I might find beauty out of ashes. The Lord made you get busted butt naked on top of a grave following a funeral service earlier on that same day, where you are doing a ritual spitting on the freaking sand at the cemetery, and then lights shine on you while you're naked in that little minute situation of yours. Only that God might be revealed as precisely that innocent, and you all done did it. I am so obviously innocent, and you are all so obviously involved in some kind of a satanic cult. Like you're in a trance. It's like all of your life in some kind of a zombie state. You are swinging left to right, humming, mooing and eyeing, literally ignoring a woman suffocate, screaming on top of her voice, losing even that voice. Do you understand? Like I am crying, saying, South Africa, save me, I'm getting killed. I am a sheep to the slaughter, and you're just watching me go and die. Do you not then on that day not look like that ululating witch over the dead body at the cemetery, following a funeral on the same day, doing a ritual so you can get like some extra power or something like that? Do you not look like you just spat into a cauldron, bathed in it, and had a whole bunch of your friends hook up a satanic ritual around you, a seance, just to say we support you, we stand in concert with you? Do you not look like you're members of a cult? Do you not currently look like you're obviously participating in something freaking dark and nefarious? You do! So whether or not that's the evidence or the proof of you having visited your stealthy little freaky sangomas, bottom line is you're acting like members of a cult. You are not caring enough. You are not sufficiently concerned about a person amidst you that once lived with you, that is a loved one, that is supposed to be cared for by you. You are not acting appropriately for who it is that I represented in the collective of all of y'all's lives. So some of y'all are so freaking tight that don't nobody ever recognize you without me being next to you. And yet, you're watching me die. You are suffocating me. You are members of a cult. No matter how much you might have wanted me to look like I belong to a cult, my screams are appropriate for a person that is being sent to the slaughter. Your disregard and apathy for this very taxing situation just makes you look like a witch caught in the act, literally butt naked, lechadima, falling from the sky. People be like, but what's that thing that's just falling with a stud? And for them to only realize, oh my goodness, it's a human being and it's naked, it's a witch. I'm gonna call you out. I'm gonna call you South Africa. People gonna know what you're into. These random filthy things the Lord has set apart this very day for his purposes, including the wicked for the day of trouble. You were supposed to be ominous. You were supposed to be nefarious and freaky and eerie, looking like the Addams freaking family. You were supposed to look like Annabelle. You were supposed to look like a conduit for satanic spirits. You were supposed to look like Chucky and his daggone bride. You were supposed to look nasty. So thank you for vindicating me by simply acting inappropriately to freaking death impending. A suicide gawking at you, and you are standing back, gathering dust, burning while you're at it on the spot because the villagers have decided to go and bring you at the stake because you're a witch. This is my justice. Your apathy is my vindication. I'm signing out in Christ's name, cranky. Peace.